Hi, Shannon here. Hopefully this has corrected itself. It was doing that sideways thing before, so if you saw it, I apologize. I deleted that, and I had to start over because it was just going in the wrong direction. So, hi. Hello, everybody. If you're out there and you're watching this, throw me a heart, throw me an emoji. Let me know where it is that you are tuning in from today. Let me know if you are a first-time watcher, where you're tuning in from with that as well. And if you're catching the replay, send me a hashtag replay. So today, I wanted to come and do a quick live with you guys to talk about support and expectations, specifically setting the expectations. And one of the things that I find so important is, hi Tanya, when we are establishing relationships with other people, is really truly getting clear on what it is we're looking to get out of that relationship. And I feel like there's some sort of icky connotation, hi Gina, welcome, around being crystal clear on what it is we want to get, because we know how much we have to give. So it's not icky. I'll say that right now. Getting super clear on what your expectation is for what you want out of all relationships, it's not icky because you know what your value is. You know how much you have to give. So again, if you're tuning in now, throw me a heart. Let me know that you're out there. Let me know where it is you're tuning in from. And if you are a newbie, let me know that you're a newbie. I always love knowing who it is that I'm connecting with and from where. And send me a hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. So if you saw my post today, I put a post up in celebration and recognition of PCOS Awareness Month. And the post is all about support. And yes, in recognition and support of creating awareness for people like me who struggle with PCOS and namely any symptom related to infertility. My husband and I have been knowingly struggling with symptoms related to infertility we're going to be married in 6 years, so probably a little bit over 6 years. But I was officially diagnosed roughly about 5 years ago. And just so you know, I also have endometriosis, stage 4, rectovaginal endometriosis, and I had laparoscopic surgery to diagnose this. And the post that I put up today was, yes, of course, absolutely, in recognition and support of PCOS awareness, but also in support of the people that support us. Namely, my post is about my husband and how he supports me and has supported me through our struggle with infertility. And when it comes to getting supported and having expectations of support, one of the things that we overlook is that we train people how to treat us. I'll let that sit in. We train people how to treat us. We train them how to support us. We train them of what is permissible, what is allowable, and what is not, what we will or won't accept. And in celebration of the post that I put up today, in recognition of my husband and the immense amount of support he has shown me over the years of our struggle with infertility, I also wanted to acknowledge that it's a choice that I made to put that post up, and it's a choice that he makes every day to stay with me. And I want to give you a little bit of backstory. So my husband and I have been struggling with infertility, as I said, for a little bit over 6 years. A part of that struggle, as I said, was going through laparoscopic surgery to diagnose it. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. And through all of that, that was a way in which he showed up and supported me, right? I wanted to get the surgery. I wanted to go through the hormone treatments. We made the decision together. We supported each other. But also in realizing that it was a choice to stay together. As a coach, I talk to a lot of people that have or are struggling with infertility, whether or not they're in the midst of their diagnosis or they're trying still to conceive. And some of the information that I receive is that not everybody stays together. It's a choice to stay together. And just as it is a choice to stay together, as I'm talking specifically about infertility, it's a choice to continue to have people in your life. It's a choice to continue to surround yourself with the same support system that you have. And whatever you allow, or however you allow them to treat you, is how they're going to treat you. Specifically, as I said, I had a very transparent conversation with my husband when I reached what I would say my wit's end in our trying to conceive, our trying to have a baby. And one day I just woke up and was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't continue to feel like I don't know who I am. My hair was falling out. I was like 80 or 90 pounds. I had developed cystic acne all over my face. I was completely stressed. I was dealing with thoughts of suicide, and it just was compounding. Hi, Sydney, welcome. And my husband chose to stay alongside me. Hi, Jennifer. And support me, right? But I chose to go to him. Hi, Heidi, welcome. And tell him that I couldn't do it anymore. Thank you. Heidi said, I'm so glad you're on. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. I chose to go to him and I chose to say, I can't do this anymore. I had taken some time. I want you to know this. I want to be very clear and transparent about this. That I took some time to sit with the decision that I was going to go to my husband and I was going to tell him that I no longer wanted to do the things that were supposed to be enabling us or helping us to get pregnant. And I made the decision in that moment that I needed to be okay with whatever it is that he said. I had to allow him that, right? I needed to permit him, give him the support to have his honest response. My honest response was, I can't do this anymore. And I love him enough to understand if he said, well, then I need to be with someone that I can have a baby with, biologically. That was hard. It was a hard decision. But over the course of, hi, Jaylyn, welcome. Heidi says, amen. Yes, girl. It was a hard decision for me to come to. And if you're out here watching this right now and you're facing some hard decisions right now that you're realizing are hard to put out into the universe, give it your voice, really truly allow yourself time to be with and just how you want to go forward or what support you want in that situation and what the expectation is that you are expecting out of those decisions, out of hearing your voice out in the world, giving your decisions, your choices life. Post, let me know, share. You know, it's a safe space. Heidi, it's fear that holds me back. Yes, and fear is common. It's so common. But consider that fear is just an awareness. Consider that it's a strong emotion. So maybe I would ask you to ask yourself, what is it about the strong emotion that you feel holds you back? What is it about it that you feel you can't be with? For me, not going to my husband and elongating it and kind of dragging it out, telling him my truth, right? I need you to support me in this, but I understand if you can't. I understand if you can't support my decision. It was fear. It was a strong emotion. I love my husband. He's my best friend. We had traveled that journey for years. I cut myself open. I injected myself with shit. I was a shell of the woman that I knew I wanted to be in my heart. And he stood by me. He endured it with me. He supported me when I made radical decisions to increase the hormone injections, right? And so I chose to support myself. I chose to be with my expectation of I support whatever he decides, right? And I chose to stop letting fear, strong emotions hold me back. Heidi, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Jaylene dropped every fear. And look, I just want to be honest with you. I don't believe in dropping the fear. I don't believe in pretending like it doesn't infringe upon us. I don't believe in the fact that it doesn't exist. It exists. It always will exist. It's deciding how that emotion impacts you. Are you going to look at it as this is a roadblock? I have fear. It's going to stop me. Or this is a speed bump. I have fear and that's okay. I have fear because that is my human response. I have fear because it's a big emotion. I had fear that my husband was going to leave me and telling him my truth and saying, I can't do this anymore. And if you want a baby, you deserve it. You should go and get it. And his response was, no, I want you more than I want this. I want you to feel empowered. I want to support you how you need it. How do you need it? Melissa, welcome. And so that day, I learned a very valuable lesson. Good morning, my friend. And the lesson was, we train people how to treat us. And in that moment, what I was training or telling my husband about what I needed was I needed my individuality and I wanted him to always have his. I needed to support myself and I wanted him to always feel supported by me too. Whether that means he decides that he can't be with me anymore. I'm going to look through these. Heidi, yes, yes, yes. Love it. Vernina. Yes, you can't drop every single fear completely. Oh, yes, I need someone to say that. Well, girl, I'm going to say it with you. We say it together. Is that you can't drop every fear. It's our human response. And so support and expectation comes from realizing that relationships are a choice. They're a choice. It was the most validating and liberating thing that I realized for myself. Nobody validated it for me. Just want to be very clear about that. I validated it to me. I gifted it to myself. And I could have a whole conversation with you guys about how I never wanted to get married and all the shit behind that, but perhaps that's for another day. But in that moment, years of going through infertility and struggling with PCOS, I had never felt more supported by my husband than when he said, I support you and I support me, and this is both of our choices. And it's namely the reason why I feel so liberated in all of my relationships. That day, something changed in me. Number one, it was I stood for the relationship I had with myself. I am most important. I will never, ever disregard that again because I cannot be valuable, supportive, or available to other people in whatever way that I can be for them, not how they need me to be, what I can be for them, unless I'm loving myself first. And I realized that's a choice for me. It's liberating. I have to love myself first in order to love anyone else. Going through these comments here, Heidi, I feel compelled to say once we stop thinking of the lack of and just focus on the blessings in the ucky mess, and all will be given to you. Heidi, I agree. I hear you that it is beautiful and enlightening and liberating to focus on all the beautiful good that we have in our lives. But sometimes, no, scratch that, erase. All the time, it is important to look at the hard, strong things as well. We are whole beings who experience things that we may label the blessings as good and the hardships as bad. Sometimes that's how we label them. But we are whole beings that experience both good and bad. And our wholeness comes from liberating ourselves to say, here's what I need, here's what I expect, and if you can't give it to me, that's okay. It doesn't have to be bad. It's just what I need. Good morning, my friend. Olivia, you're on. Heidi, yes. So, as I said, relationships are a choice. And it's so liberating when we realize that. My husband, that day, said, I'm going to stay because I freaking love you, and you're making a choice for you, and my choice is to stay with you. Great, because that's what I wanted, and it turned out that way. It could have went different, right? Could have went different, but it didn't. Heidi, we are beings in a human body. Olivia, sometimes illuminating the dark allows us to step into the light. I believe always. I believe always illuminating the dark allows us to step into the light. Our dark, and again, this is like derailing. I could have a whole nother conversation about this, whole nother conversation about endometriosis and why I didn't want to get married, all these things I said before. But I believe it, guys. Lay down in the gutter with your shit, look it in the face, and say, you're just as much a part of me as all the good in my heart that lights me up in my soul. You light me up in my soul too, because this is what makes me whole. The darkness and the light. So relationships are a choice. And the choice that my husband can leave me at any time is there every day. I could leave his ass too. We both know that. That's the support we give to each other. That's the expectation we set for each other. And that's true of every relationship you have in your life, my friends. And I can sit here and tell you all day long about and I share with you guys, right? Like, here's what I've learned. But I want you to ask yourself, what do you need? What do you need support-wise? What expectations do you have from the people in your life? Don't make it wrong. It's your power. It's your energy to say, here's what I need. This is what I won't accept. This is what I will. This is the place you serve in my life, and this is the place I serve in yours, because we train people how to treat us, and we allow them to treat us that way as long as it perpetuates itself until we say, that no longer serves me. or we no longer clarify the support we need. One of the greatest books I read recently is Love Warrior by Glennon Doyle. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but you can catch this on the book jacket. And in the book jacket, it basically says that she went through this self-fulfilling journey, self-discovery journey, after her husband was unfaithful, right? And she learned through a self-fulfilling prophecy of being introspective with herself that one of the reasons I'll say, she wasn't owning the things she needed from other people and the places they will or will not hold in her life is because she wasn't giving voice to it. She wasn't communicating flat. She wasn't allowing herself to be heard. This is what I want. This is what I expect. This is what I need. And here's how I'm going to say it. And she realized that what you want from other people and what you give to other people is an energy exchange. And it's beautiful, right? The support we have in our lives is different depending upon who's in our life. I would never in a million years call my mom and be like, hey mom, I need to go live on Facebook 3 times a week and I need you to support me in that. She'd be like, number one, my mom doesn't like Facebook. It's not a clear expectation that I can have from her. She's my mom. I don't want to mince that relationship. This is why I have my own coach. My coach is responsible for saying, hey, reflection, why aren't you showing up the way that you said you were going to? But guess who else is responsible? Guess who else holds the support for that expectation? This chick right here, me. Similarly, I would never go to my husband and be like, hey, I want you to, read through my book and tell me if other women who are experiencing infertility are going to relate to this. That's not the role my husband plays in my life. My husband is my man. He's my man. He gives me that good sex, that good love, and emotional and mental support to be like, Shannon, you're a fucking phoenix, fly. Right? That's the role he has in my life. The expectation is clear, just like with my mom. Similarly, with myself. If I think I talked about this in a live I did with Olivia very recently, about the relationship and the expectations that you have on yourself. Know who you are. I'm a rebel with a cause. I like checklists in certain situations. The expectation is paying bills, making sure my contracts with my clients are right, making sure my invoices are paid on time, making sure I show up for my calls. Check, 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 check. Got calendars for that, right? But the expectation with myself to make a checklist or show up on lives every single day and follow that sort of structure, if I don't feel energetically aligned or creatively aligned, that ain't me. I don't like that. I do things when I feel called to. That's not a checklist for me. So the relationship and support that I have with myself is to know that and to own it. And the expectation is when I feel like I'm doing something not in honor or service of that, I need to check myself back into integrity and realize that I'm doing things out of a deficit, out of an energy suck, out of some sort of need to fulfill or check a box. That ain't me. That ain't the rebel in Shannon who is equal parts vulnerable and the person that challenges the line. The girl that moves the line, checks the boundaries out. And the same thing with your family, right, guys? So whatever relationship you have in your life, whether it's your job, your family, romance, self, they all serve a purpose. Pushing them into the same box is only going to leave your expectations falling flat and feeling unfulfilled. There is a certain amount of responsibility that you must take on yourself to realize this is the role you serve in my life, and here's the role I am willing to serve in yours. Again, can't ask my mom to hold me accountable to go live on Facebook. She freaking hates Facebook. Can't ask my husband to tell me how a woman suffering with infertility is going to perceive my book. He's not a woman. He don't got the ovaries, boo. Right? Can't ask somebody else to know what's going on in here and here. Me. I'm responsible. So the support in setting the expectations that we have in our life is to realize that we train people how to treat us. You also train yourself how to treat you too. If you allow someone to treat you like shit, why are they still in your life? Now, if you have somebody that you're stuck with, like a family member or whatever, it's a different scenario, but you can find ways to create boundaries either way. Also, realizing that relationships are a choice is so liberating. The fact that I know that I'm not stuck with my husband, that I choose him and he chooses me every single day, God, it makes me love him so much more. Just gives me all the tingles and all the special places. Because we choose each other every day. And also realizing that each relationship has a functionality and a purpose to give you support in some sort of way. And if you find a relationship or a connection that you have in your life that's not fulfilling to you, you don't have to stay in it. Support is a two-way street. It is a choice. And the expectation that you have about the relationship should be with yourself first. Yourself first. I, again, can tell you all the experiences that I have, but nothing is nothing is as impactful as deciding what you need. You can have a million coaches come to you being like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do that. But if you're in my audience and you're watching this, I will assert that you are the person that will run into a brick wall 50 million times until you figure it out on your own. And that is more fulfilling to you than somebody else telling you what to do. So take that on. Get to know yourself. And the other thing I want to share is that when it comes to support and expectations, you can be independent and still need it. You can be independent and still want love. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Mary. You can be a rebel, a renegade, a phoenix, a person that can support themselves and is driven beyond all measure, but still wants someone to give you a cuddle. Someone to tell you that you are sexy, bitch. Someone to tell you that you are brilliant. You are worth it. You can do anything that you want. So don't confuse support and setting expectations with feeling like you need to be out on an island by yourself. We are human beings. We need support. We need connection. It's our rite of passage. It's what's within our heart to feel connected and understood and heard by another person. But if somebody is dimming your flame, babe, leave it. Your flame is yours. The world needs it. Support it and set the expectation within yourself that nobody will have the power to dim it. Not in this life, not ever. So I just want to go through some of these comments. Let's see. Oh, Frances. Oh, hey. She said, yes, girl. Heidi, yes, yes. Heidi, it seems to be that way with my hubby as well. It's a shift. Beautiful. I love it. Yes, making the choice to realize that you don't have to stay in a relationship. You're not anchored to it. Super liberating. Totally agree. Exactly. Oh, no. Cancel this. Verdina, hey, girl. We be friends. Yes, we are friends. Thank you for signing on. Please, everyone, do share the video. Shannon is such a blessing, goddess babe. I just love you so damn much. Gosh, we are just so energetically matched, my friend. Cool. So yes, if you like this video and you know someone that can be supported, right? Be supported by understanding what they need for support and setting clear expectations for themselves and understanding that everybody in your life doesn't have to have the same role. It's this malleable, beautiful thing. Please share it. And also realizing that nobody has the power to dictate what it is that you need. You decide. Like I always say from my favorite movie, Pretty Woman, you say who, you say when, you say how much. Don't let anybody else say that for you. Also wanted to remind you that I have opened up 3 spots. I have created space in my client roster for 3 new people. I'm just feeling really, really called and energetically matched to connect with more soulmate clients. It's so fulfilling to me. My roster is just blowing my mind lately. Everybody is showing up and fucking killing the game. I have entrepreneurs, I have photographers, I have coaches. They're just showing up for themselves, standing for themselves. Self-love is on the menu and everybody is eating and up and their confidence is through the moon. Phoenix clients. My babes out there who are the rebels, the vulnerable rebels, the people that are self-driven, but feels like there is just a little bit more, an inch of a step that you want to take in your life, but for some reason you're feeling pulled back, you're feeling stuck. Message me. I have created 3 new spots in my client roster for my soulmate clients. I'm waiting for you. I see you. And just to be clear, I've had some questions coming lately because I do say Message me to apply. And the reason why I say that is because I am not going to work with someone who I don't feel connected with. And this is not just for me. This is for you too, right? You should only be working with coaches that you feel energetically, soul, business-minded, everything, your whole self connected to. Do yourself that blessing and vet your coaches, the people that you're talking to make sure you're energetically aligned. So that's why I do say message me to apply, because I want it to be this equal magnetized energy that serves you, and I'm showing up for you, and we're just, like I said, just killing the game, guys. So if you're interested, post below or send me a private message, and I will send you the link to sign up for your one-on-one consultation. It's a 1-hour consultation, 1 hour with me and with you, talking about what it is that you want to move forward in your life, the big decisions you want to make to feel empowered by yourself, the confidence in yourself, you to move everything you want forward and to just light your life up. Message me and we'll get connected. Otherwise, thanks so much for signing on, guys. My heart is always with you. I love you so damn much. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Bye.